Every day, we have Filipinos who develop serious cornea haze, scarring, or disfigurement because of many causes. These can occur from trauma, infections of the eye, complications of cataract surgery, or be the result of congenital anomalies and genetic predisposition. Blurring of vision because of corneal pathology can occur gradually or literally in the blink of an eye. For these persons, only a corneal transplant can restore functional vision. 30 years ago, such patients were virtually hopeless simply because the Philippines did not have a functional eye banking system that could provide tissue for sight-restoring transplants. This desperate need for transplantable corneal tissue led a group of ophthalmologists to put up the Eye Bank Foundation of the Philippines. Aware of the reality of 6 failed attempts at putting up a functional eye bank since the 1950s, these visionary men and women still dared to dream. Hence, on March 17, 1994, the Eye Bank Foundation of the Philippines was born. Then, in a frenzied pace, came the law to increase the chance of successful eye banking. Then the implementing rules and regulations for the law were signed in July 19, 1995. Supported by technological know-how from the International Federation of Eye and Tissue Banks and buoyed by funds from generous donors, the Santa Lucia International Eye Bank of Manila, which is the medical eye bank facility of the foundation, named after the patron saint of vision, was inaugurated at the Makati Medical Center on October 16, 1995. Then, in 2005, in recognition of its status as the National Eye Bank of the Philippines, the Eye Bank was invited to move to the Centro Oftalmológico Jose Rizal, or SOJR building, at the Philippine General Hospital, or PGH, where it remains to this day. The journey has not been easy. In 1995, Filipinos were averse to organ donation, and the eye bank had to overcome so many obstacles to be able to retrieve eye tissue for transplant. But the Lord blessed us with angels along the way. Aside from Mr. Frederick Griffith and Dr. Khalid Tabara of the International Federation of Eye Banks, and our cheerleader and mentor, Dr. Salvador Salceda, there was Dr. Raul Flores of Makati Medical Center, who gave us space for our first home and seed money to start. Then there was Dr. Robert Caro of Staten Island, New York, who donated considerable funds to purchase our equipment. The only request was that we name our facility after Santa Lucia, the patron saint of vision, and his patroness, he being originally from Sicily. The medical legal officers of the PNP became our indispensable partners almost from the very start of operations and have remained so up to today. Friends in media played a major role in molding public opinion. Famed photographer June De Leon generously shared his talent, and 52 celebrities shared tears of hope for the Eye Bank in a Grand Anvil Award-winning campaign in 2005. Tragedy turned to hope in front of all to witness when celebrity families made the selfless decision to donate the eyes or corneas of their loved ones. Some of them remain staunch supporters to this day. And then there are thousands of donors and families whose names may never be known to the multitude, but whose legacy of sight will always remain in our hearts. The Eye Bank, the medical community, and our patients owe these wonderful people a deep sense of gratitude that we can only begin to fathom. And now, we have a new type of hero, and we refer to the growing number of hospitals that have joined our eye banking family across the country. Imagine hospitals routinely asking patients and next of kin if they would consider eye or cornea donation. Imagine these same hospitals being able to get enough consents to eradicate their waiting lists for corneal transplants and contribute to the national eye bank pool of tissue. Then imagine that this is done through dedicated donor transplant coordinators and supportive hospital leaders, with donor families not asking for anything in return except the assurance that their donated tissue will be able to help bring sight to the blind. This ideal situation was just an aspiration as recently as 5 years ago. In fact, throughout the 30-year history of the eye bank in the Philippines, the most difficult thing to accomplish for us was to sustain hospital cornea eye retrieval programs, or HRPs, in private and government hospitals. Fortunately, the tide has turned. Thanks to the unrelenting efforts of the eye bank officers and staff, and the determination of a growing number of ophthalmologists to finally address the problem proactively, we now have satellite eye tissue retrieval centers around the country that have model programs worth emulating. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the Baguio General Hospital led the pack for tissue retrieval. It was our poster child for HRP. But the pandemic dealt a major blow to eye banking worldwide. All eye banks downsized, many eye banks closed. However, just as crises are also opportunities, 2022 saw the resurgence of interest in establishing and restarting HRPs, particularly among Department of Health retained and provincial hospitals. More MOAs were signed, more didactics and wet labs were held for hospital staff. Some hospitals sent their transplant coordinators to the eye bank for one-on-one training. The result was almost instant. Many hospitals that had zero donors as recently as 2023 suddenly had a burst of eye and cornea donors. The Ilocos Training and Regional Medical Center in La Union, the Paulino J. Garcia Memorial Medical Research Center in Cabanatuan, the Baguio General Hospital, the Pangasinan Provincial Hospital, the Southern Isabela Medical Center are but a few of those that have excelled beyond expectation. The Northern Mindanao Medical Center has also joined the list of productive satellites. And then there is the Asian Medical Center that leads the pack among private hospitals. We have certainly come a long way since 1994. Our eye bank facility is among the founding members of the Association of Eye Banks in Asia. We are called upon to participate and lend our expertise to international eye banking meetings worldwide. We pre-cut DSEC tissue and hope to prepare pre-strip tissue for DMEC soon. From just one eye bank facility in Manila, we now have a growing number of satellites from Ilocos Norte to Southern Mindanao. Soon, we will have the first National Eye Banking Forum come 2025. 30 years hence, the Eye Bank Foundation of the Philippines is harvesting the fruits of the smallest seeds planted by people who dared to dream in 1994. We continue to plant new seeds around the Philippines through our satellites. The accomplishments of our partner hospitals humble us and inspire us to work harder to bring sight to the blind so that we may grow bigger and better and brighter as beacons of hope.